Hi, it's Gayle. Welcome to my channel. So I thought I'd pop on here for a few minutes and do a live stream late at night. I have never done one this late. Will you believe that? So I don't even know if anybody else is going to be on. Oh, hey! Broken Unpredictable Gamer is here. Hi, welcome. I was just saying that I've never done a live stream this late and was not sure if anybody would even be on. It's late for me anyway. Texas Service Dog Team, you are up late. I just decided that I hadn't done a live stream today like I'd planned on, so I thought I'd pop on tonight. The weather has just been really, really bad, and so for most of the day, I've not been able to maintain a steady cell phone signal, so I didn't want to get online and keep getting bumped off. Yeah, I usually stay up late. Okay. Well, I'm kind of glad you did tonight. I'm going to be on a little while. I'm not sure how long yet. You guys don't forget to click like while you're here. It's 9:15 where you are? Okay. I think it's closer to like midnight 15 where I am. Let's see. Yeah, 12:15. So what are you guys doing up so late? With me, I've been studying and doing some stuff around the house. Did you hear about Maddie's brother? No. Dr. Dan 3's in the house. Hi, Dr. Dan 3. How are you? Well, gosh, I've got a bigger crowd than I thought tonight. Thank you guys for coming in and hanging out. I just wanted to recover from homework. Oh, gosh, Texas Dog, thank you for telling me. I did not know that. You know, I actually sent her an email at the same time I sent you an email with the same kind of attachment on it. It was never opened, so I wonder now if that's part of why. Bless her heart. I will get back in touch with her. That's terrible. So what else is everybody up to in Texas? I don't know. No, that's okay. Oh, Dr. Dan 3 says, Happy Easter, everyone. Happy Easter to you, too. But I'll get back in touch with her, Tracy. Thank you for telling me that. She's a really sweet girl. She's got a tough exterior, but she is really nice. So do you guys have big plans for Easter? Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. I know with us, we're going to be close to home. I was hoping to go out of town, but that's just not going to happen. So between the computer and I had a car problem the other day, had to get the car towed. So between all that, nothing is in the budget. So we are staying put. Besides, I also have a crap ton of homework to do. This has been the semester papers. So, oh, somebody gave me a like. Thank you. My plans for Easter are going to church and taking the family out for dinner afterwards. That's a great one. Awit Travel, hey, how are you? And Texas Service Dog Team says, I don't celebrate Easter. We do Passover. Christ was the Passover lamb. Absolutely. I'm going to a Seder meal tomorrow night. This will be my fifth one. 4 or 5. I'm always glad to go because it's such a good experience, and for me, it helps me understand more some of the other traditions that I don't get exposed to. And me too in Oklahoma, Wow, so you're gonna get to travel. That's great. Will this be Story's like second big trip or first one other than coming to you? Dr. Dan says, my church is having a Seder meal on April 7. Nice. I think part of our schedule was when the rabbi was available. I don't know for sure, but I kind of suspect that's what it is. Several churches in the area are going together to make this happen, and the rabbi is going to be there to make sure we're authentic. Texas Service Dog Team says only an hour and a half away. No, we traveled 5 hours to see family in South Texas. Neat. So she's going to be well traveled. And well traveled is always good for a dog. People too. So I'm always glad around Easter to hear about churches doing Seder meals because I think it's important for us to know more. I need to get her a passport, LOL. You go, girl. Tomlin doesn't have one, but he's been back and forth to Canada several times, so maybe he should. And that was actually easier than getting a passport. He is well traveled. Yeah, I'd say so. We've had him from Florida to the Arctic Circle and several places in between. So I think he's doing pretty good. When we first got him, oh my gosh, we had just had him a week maybe when my daughter's band was going to Florida. So we packed him up and we all went to Florida because we had already been scheduled, but we had looked for him for so long and we got him as a puppy to owner train. Well, with helps with trainers. And we found him just right before she was going on a trip. So we didn't want to board him up here because we wanted to be able to have access to him. So he went to Florida. Well, by the time we got back, he was the darling of the band. He had been passed around so much on the trip and afterwards that I swear I was just about afraid he was going to forget how to walk because his little paws never hit the ground. So he's been traveling from the get-go. How sweet, yeah. Yeah, we actually had to watch to make sure the kids didn't try sneaking him on the bus. Whenever they'd stop, everybody wanted to dash over to our car. Because, first thing, when you have a daughter and a new puppy, they're already magnets for each other. So, first thing, my youngest daughter was like, and she was high school age, she was like, see our new puppy, see our new puppy. So then he started getting passed around. And so, some of the kids were like, oh, can we take him on the bus and we'll give him to you at the next stop? And I was like, no. So we had to keep an eye on him for that first trip. Hi, Helga. Welcome. Helga's Pennsylvania Cooking and Homestead has just arrived. Thank you. And y'all don't forget to give me those big thumbs up, okay? I'm actually shocked that you guys are up so late. Although I guess Helga was probably up cooking. I was up doing homework and decided to pop on. Oh, I got to meet the Texas A&M mascot, the dog on campus when I was visiting my oldest son there a couple of years ago. Her name is Reveille. Helga's Pennsylvania Cooking says it's way past my bedtime. And Dr. Dan said, being up now is normal for me. Okay. Well, that's kind of not normal for me so much, but that's okay. But thank you guys for coming out and hanging out tonight. Oh gosh, Tracy. You were up late. Oh, Dr. Dan used to work nights and he's used to it. Now that does make a difference. Long time ago, I worked third shift, and one of the ladies that I work with stayed on a third shift schedule all the time because she said her body was just used to it. And I don't know how many years she'd been working at the hospital, but it was over 20. And Helga's Pennsylvania Cooking says, I switch between 12-day and night shifts. And Texas Service Dog Team says, I loved third shift. I liked it too. The only problem with me was I did it when our kids were younger. So if they were home for school, I was up at night and during the day. But you guys, if you've worked nights, you know exactly how that goes. It was great for our schedule otherwise, though, because if they were sick, Mom got to be home with them. And with our younger daughter, she wore out the I'm sick card. But that's par for the course. And thank you guys for that second like. So YouTube is placing lots of emphasis on those. So thank you guys for clicking the like button. Oh, okay. I homeschooled my son until high school, working every possible shift. I did that actually with my youngest daughter. Part of her, I think it was her 4th grade year, and then turned around and wound up having to homeschool her during her middle school years. Thank you guys again for those likes. I was homeschooled most of my time, went to public school my senior year. Neat. Yeah, I think with college, really, you wind up just about having to go to high school, at least for a while, just to get those college transcripts. Unless they're better than what they were about accepting high school transcripts, they weren't very good at it. Berea College didn't mind, but some of the others sure did. Homeschooling is great. Yes. Oh gosh, yes. I will agree with that. Whoops. Let me adjust this. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. It can be as long as you use a strong curriculum. I see a lot using weak academics. Yeah, we actually, we got so lucky in where we lived. We lived in North Carolina at the time, and the middle school there, of course, now we had our oldest daughter in middle school, and they knew about the problems that we had with our younger daughter, who's just, they're 18 months apart. So grade-wise, they're actually 2 years. But the middle school knew about the problems I'd had with my younger daughter. So I was there for a meeting with my oldest daughter one day, and I was just talking to him, just general talk about homeschooling. And they actually gave me the math book that we needed for her next level. So that's one book that not only did we not have to buy, but, we knew it was accurate. So that was really nice. Of course, the aggravating thing with her is that she will swear to this day that she didn't learn anything when she was homeschooled, you know. But I mean, she did, but I think because it was different, it doesn't sink in with her. But to this day, she'll fuss that she didn't learn anything when she was homeschooled. But she was in the top 13 in her high school class. So I keep telling her that that level of academics in high school with all the advanced stuff, that wouldn't have been possible had she not learned in middle school. But I don't know what it is. Maybe it was just, a mom-daughter thing. But did you see my video today? My twins that passed away, they would have been 22 yesterday. No, Tracy, I'm sorry. I have been buried under homework. So I am behind on my video watching, I am sorry to say. But I will go back and see that. And I'm sorry. I can't imagine what that would be. We almost lost Samantha a few times, but that's nothing like actually losing children. Oh, wow, your daughter says the same thing? Oh, I feel better then. Because maybe it's just a kid thing. Did your daughter do well in high school? Because to me, that's the proof of the pudding. And Tracy says, it's all good, no worries. God knows what is best. You're right. He does. But that doesn't mean we always see it here. He reveals it to us a little at a time, and it takes a while to get the message. We humans can be a little slow. Hey, Plum Bob, welcome. Plum Bob says, thinking of you, Texas Service Dog Team, be well. Yeah, that's the thing about spirituality. Sometimes we have to go through those valleys so we can recognize the high spots. But I totally think you're right, Tracy. Okay, so she graduated and finished college too. There you go. Well, obviously, she learned. Now, how are your classes going? And Plum Bob, how did you decide on your name? I'm curious. I meant to ask you the other day. Ooh, Deep's here. Good evening. Just got off work. Figured I'd stop by. Thank you. Before he relaxes. I really didn't think that anybody would be here. I am so honored. And Rusty Faith is here. And you guys are all going to click like for me, right? Yeah, I see one now. Thank you. Plum Bob says, I've been a plumber for years. And Tracy says, I'm withdrawing from classes this week for health issues, putting my PhD on hold for now. Tracy, sometimes you have to do that. And I'm sorry, but I understand. Especially, I'm kind of wowed that you were even working on your PhD. So, especially at that level, I can just imagine. Because I saw what my husband and my daughter went through for their master's degree. So, my hat is totally off of you. And Texas Service Dog Team says it'll happen when the time is right. I agree. And Plum Bob says that's where the Plum Bob came in. I think it's nice, Plumber Bob. I think it's nice. That's a neat way to get your YouTube name. And of course, Deep got his because all of his writing and all of his videos are so deep. Or at least I suspect that's the way he got it. Deep, if you're still here, you can correct me on that. know. I think it's neat the way that some people got their names. Of course, Tracy, yours is kind of obvious, but like I could not come up with a name to save my life. I even put it out on YouTube. I was like, you guys help me here. Should I have another name or not? And I tossed a couple out, one of which being Gayle Vlogs, which is the name of my Facebook group. But like the whole survey, like way and away was the runaway was just to keep it on my name. And Texas Service Dog Team says, me neither. I went with a basic descriptive. Yeah, that's what I was going to do too, but everybody outvoted me. I mean, well, not, because I was thinking Gayle Vlogs would be okay, or, you know, something Tomlin and Gayle, or just something like that. But no, literally, I was outvoted. You know what, though? I just began a new career as apparently a motorcycle mechanic. I don't know if I should change my name now. Well, congratulations on your change. I don't know if I don't know. Think about that. Spend some time as a mechanic and think about that, because if people already know you and identify you with Plum Bob, it might be super tough to change. Especially if you've got like business cards in your Amazon store and things like that. Now with me, for my Amazon store, I just went Gayle Crabtree because, you know, like everything is that. My Twitter, my YouTube, you know. So just kind of like for continuity there. My blog, GayleCrabtree.com, all of that. So I just left it all the same. But your new career sounds exciting. Super exciting, actually. And Dr. Dan says, my name, I'm not a retired doctor, but a former boss of mine. And Dr. Dan, cool. Texas Service Dog says, I didn't name mine after my service dog because when you get a new dog, you know, the name changes. And Texas Service Dog Team says, why did your boss call you Dr. Dan? Herfords is in the house. Hi, Steve. Wow, all of my YouTube friends are super late people. I had no idea. Honestly, guys and gals, I thought probably I would be on here for 10 minutes, soaking up air and talking to myself. Only in for a second. Well, I'm always glad to see you, whether it's for a second, a minute, or hours. And I'm doing this from my phone, so kind of bear with me, you know, and I'm probably going to be on my phone until I get that stupid laptop resolved. LOL, you have a nightlife. That's pretty cool. It's 10:37 p.m. here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. That is so cool. David Discontinued is here and says, hi, Gayle. So, hi, David. You're another late person, I see. That's so cool. Now, y'all that are new here or been in here just a few minutes, please don't forget to give me the likes. Tracy says she'd love to live in Canada. I don't blame you. Everybody in Canada was like, I am still to this day blown away. I've driven across Canada 3 times now, and I'll get to do it again in summer of 2019. And everybody was just like, just so nice each time. except for one gas station attendant in Edmonton. So sorry about that, Plum Bob, but you always have one in every crowd. And that was on my first trip, so I'm not going to count that. But I've done 3 round trips across Canada and loved it. And Texas Service Dog Team says, "To got here and people get lost out in Dallas. I'm picking on you, Gayle." No, I mean, it's not picking on me to state the truth. Heaven help me. Dallas was just incredible. And Plum Bob says, -12°C and still lots of snow. Plum Bob, how long do you guys usually keep snow? You too, Steve. And Texas Service Dog Team says, "Too hot, I meant." Yeah, it is kind of hot in Texas. But anywhere in the South, it's going to be hot. But honestly, Tracy, I swear, Texas and then Mississippi will kill you too because the humidity is so high. But oh my gosh, Texas and Charleston, South Carolina, and Arizona, July 4th. Hottest places I've ever been. But Mississippi and South Carolina, oh my gosh, it's that humidity. So you get like 100 degrees heat and 100% humidity. It's icky. And Hereford says, "How do we keep snow?" How long do you guys usually have snow? Because like here with us, usually end of February, 1st of March, if we're ever going to get snow, it's like gone by then. But it's real. Oh, H-Top Music is here. Hi, H-Top. Hello. But usually by here, if we're going to get snow, it's gone by like the end of February, 1st of March. You know, that kind of time period, first week of March. Once in a while, we'll get it in like the middle of March. And when that happens, it's Katie bar the door. Because everybody will think we're in Canada. Because we get a lot. Now, for us, it's we don't compare to Canada to you guys in the snow we get. For us, a few inches is a big deal. But like our largest snowstorms have hit mid-March, kind of late March. And that's when we got like one year, it was like 3 feet. And they still call that the blizzard of 93. But like the rest of the time, it's inches. And people get stupid here. Nobody can handle snow. And, buddy, they all go crazy. We'll see a few snowflakes. And everybody is ready to hit that store. And you'll go and just pick up a couple of things. And they are always, straight up, they'll be always out of milk, bread, and eggs. I don't know why, but that's like just the standard. It's crazy. And Hereford, Steve says, people always think it's gone in March, but it's always snowed at least once in April. And Texas said, or Tracy, Texas Service Dog Team says, South Texas got a foot of snow in 1985. You guys must have thought you were dying. Does Texas own a snowplow? I'm in Dallas. I've just got to ask. And Plum Bob says, Gayle, enjoy your live show. Thanks so much for the nice warm welcome. And you're wonderful. My compliments to you. Oh, thank you. And Texas says, no, not at all. Wow. And no salt either. Ooh, that must have been really bad. Because I know Knoxville, Tennessee used to only have like one snowplow. And then I think they got a second one. But parts of Alabama, when they got hit several years ago, they didn't have a snowplow either. Which must be foreign to Plum Bob and Steve because you guys are so used to it. And thank you for the big thumbs up, Plum Bob. I appreciate it. I'm sure you guys laugh at us for not being used to snow. I would laugh at us if I was in an area that got a lot of snow and people went crazy down here over just like literally even the prediction of snow. We don't have to actually get it, but the prediction of snow is enough to like cancel schools. Now, in our defense, part of that is because we're in a really hilly area, and the buses have a hard time, but it's really because we're not used to it. And Tracy's saying that when they get a dusting in San Antonio every 10 years or so, they shut the city down. Well, I'm sure if you guys don't have snowplows, and winter in Southern California is the same as the northern states. Okay, so I'm sorry, not Southern. I said Southern California, didn't I? That's because it's after midnight. But Southern Canada is like the northern states, which is pretty gosh darn cold, and it can be pretty gosh darn snowy. Can you show us Tomlin now? Oh yeah, I can. Let me turn this around, and excuse my Christmas tree. It's up as a joke. But there's the dog. I hope you can see him. Don't look at my mess, please. But that black thing over there on the couch that's not even bothering to wag his tail. Tomlin? Tomlin? Hey. Hi there. There's the camcorder. He is not looking impressed, y'all. It's okay. You can lay your head back down. He's already laying his head back down. Oh gosh, Plum Bob, congratulations to you. I do wish you luck. And Steve says, okay, see ya. Oh, thank you for hanging out. And Tracy says, oh, yeah. Yeah, he sacked out. And Texas is saying, great job at Plum Bob. Absolutely. Plum Bob, that's exciting. I think you can do it. And Tracy says, bye, Steve. And Plum Bob says, thanks for the support. No, you can do it. And especially now, because you just started this great new career path. So you're going to be like really, really busy. And so that'll be good. And Tracy says, sure thing, Bob. But that's pretty exciting. I mean, I know it's going to be hard, but it's exciting too. And Plum Bob says, so true. It is helping a lot. Yeah. So do you want to specialize in any particular type of bikes? Or is it going to be just whatever comes your way? And Tracy's saying, very good. So that's pretty awesome. Because I know it's not easy. But you can do it. I'm all impressed with the new career, though, I've got to say. Just general everything too. Worked on a snowmobile. Wow. Now see, that's one thing you would not work on down here. we don't have them. But you might work on some four-wheelers. Probably a lot of four-wheelers. And Tracy says, I used to have a Harley due to my so-called midlife crisis. That's so cool. I can just imagine you in black leather just zipping down the interstate. Zip. You would probably be the bad ASS in Sturgis, right? Because they have this huge motorcycle rally in Sturgis. And Tracy says, I don't know anyone who's oops. He's done the snowmobile. I've never even on reality life. That's cool. No, LOL. Aw, come on. I'm sure you would be. You know, my husband has always wanted a motorcycle. And I've always been dead set against it. But I just felt like it was a little risky while the girls were young. So, and now we can't afford it. And Tracy says, I only rode back roads in blue jeans and t-shirts. My favorite uniform, blue jeans and t-shirts. And Plum Bob says, the plumbing career was based on heating. Probably very hard to find a job in your neck of the woods also. I don't know so much about, I'm sorry, my phone is like wonky here and it's all my fault. I don't know if it would be hard or not, because some people, there are some folks who have boilers, especially like the schools. So you would probably have an easier time than you think. And Tracy's saying that she has a fireplace and uses it. That's neat. There's something really great about a fireplace. You know, it's just soothing to kind of watch everything crackle. What on earth? My phone is doing something, and I don't know what it's doing. But it's got all these filters up, and it won't go away, so I apologize for that. I'm still learning how to use the phone. And Tracy says it is soothing. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I especially like one when I go camping, and I was so disappointed this time because we did not get to have a fire the whole time we just went camping. And H-Top says, have a great night, everyone. H-Top, thank you for coming out and hanging out tonight. And Texas says, don't see any filters on my end. No, they're all on mine. They're taking up like half the blooming screen. And Plum Bob says fireplaces are good. I love a good fire too. And you know, I didn't get to have a fire this past summer either, which was a bummer, but there were fire alerts everywhere. You know, like when I drove to Alaska, I drove across 40 and then went north because everybody in Alaska, or mostly everybody in Alaska, told me that I really need to come into the border at the Bellingham area, that because it's faster going across the U.S. with the higher interstate speeds, because sometimes I'm going 80 and over, sometimes a lot over, praying I don't get caught, but it would be faster to go across the country like that, and I'm not really sure that it was, and the fire alerts followed us across the country, and we got to British Columbia, and the lady who was traveling with me looks out of her window one night and she's like, Gayle, is that a forest fire? And I was like, yes, that would be a forest fire. So it got a little interesting. So, of course, I couldn't light a fire in New Mexico or Texas or any of the states we went through because they were all red flag warnings and stuff. I was thinking the whole time, when we get to Canada, we'll stop at a campground and we'll be able to have a fire and really relax for a little while. But no! Not on the entire trip, because we came back and it was the same way. So, oh well. Maybe next summer, right? And Tracy said, summer or winter, you mean? You said you didn't get to use the fireplace this past summer. Well, I don't have a fireplace. I actually have a fire ring. But, nope. And Plum Bob says, I didn't picture you with a lead foot, Gayle. You speeding? No way. Of course not. I don't speed at all. Nah, I misspoke on that one. Yeah, no, not at all. Not me. Not unless I get a chance anyway. But yeah. Kind of comes with the territory. Because if you don't speed, here we treat speeding very, very different. And if you don't speed here, you will get run over. Which is really, really hard when folks go into Canada. Because you guys are a lot stricter on speed. I saw several troopers. And here, you might see troopers once in a while. But like around all the towns that we went through in Canada this time, we always saw Mounties. Whitehorse, we saw like several of them. So I don't know if they were just trying to capitalize on summer traffic and make some money for the city or what it was. But we had to be really careful. White House was like the worst. Which I shouldn't complain because they keep us safe, but I was on a deadline. Because I had to get to Alaska by a certain date because it was for a mission team. So I had all the team stuff in the car. We had sleeping bags. We had clothes. They had like an overnight just in case. So we all suggested that they bring something just in case they got bumped or whatever. So I'm so glad that we did because they needed that. And I thank God to this day that the church pulled some sleeping bags together because they were all in the van. And with the fires, we ran pretty late getting there. I'd planned to arrive a minimum of a day ahead of time. And actually, we were a day late getting there. But we also made a wrong turn in Alaska, which didn't help. But we were still a full day later. And Plum Bob says lots of police everywhere, I'm sure. Yeah, it was like not so much on the highways between cities, but like when we started to come into the cities and in the towns themselves. Now, it wasn't so bad when we got to Alaska, okay? We did see a couple of troopers, but not a lot. But oh my gosh, it was like every city in Canada. Even like some of the small, kind of unincorporated little cities on the Alaska Highway going up through Canada, you know, not even like Dawson Creek and Whitehorse, but the towns that have kind of sprung up that weren't there a couple of years ago, they all had officers. I was like so disappointed because being on a deadline, you don't want to see them. Oh, yeah, Tracy, I can tell you all about Virginia cops. I got stopped there and got myself not just a ticket, but a summons. It was a little rough. But I was really pretty fortunate, and I'll tell you why. I had gotten stopped for speeding in Tennessee a few months beforehand, and I still to this day am a little frustrated by it because I was going to the doctor and was going a little faster than I realized. But anyway, I got pulled over in Tennessee. So I had paperwork that had to be filed, but they didn't tell me that. So this is, now get this is the summer of the first time I'm driving to Canada. So I crossed the border going into Canada, going into Alaska, coming back out of Alaska, coming back into the States, going on my merry way. I got the ticket like in May in Tennessee. And then I'm driving in November going through Virginia. And I get stopped for a ticket. And I've got two teenagers and an early college student in the car. We were going up to D.C. to do this thing at the Lincoln Memorial. And like the instant I get pulled over, they're like text messaging parents and friends and stuff. But the officer comes back and tells me, he's like, your license is suspended. And I was like, what? So my license was suspended and I was speeding. And he's like, yeah, you get a summons for this one. But just here's a ticket and drive slowly and, we'll see you when you get this taken care of. But I was kind of panicky when I realized that I had just done those border crossings and they had canceled my license in June. 30 days after I went in and paid the ticket, they gave me this piece of paper. And they did not say I had to file it with the state. But come to find out, they had to file a copy on their end. And I had to send the carbon copy in that I had myself. And I didn't know that. So I got it all straightened out as far as that goes before I went to see the judge over in Virginia. Which is good because he was a little grumpy. So. And Gayle, you're very well traveled. My parents were both from Dawson Creek. Neat. They were really nice there. And I always stop there because of the surveyor statue. I think that's really cool. And the highway statue. But to me, the surveyor statue was really unexpected. And they just did a magnificent job with it. And Tracy's like, wow, my son got a ticket in Virginia for doing the speed limit because he was, really? Wow. You lawbreaker, you. And, yeah, fugitive as well, LOL. Good one, Plum Bob. I didn't think of myself as a fugitive, but I guess technically it fits. But I was just, I just about died. And so I'm standing there on the side, or not standing there, but I pulled over, of course, to the side of the road. And I've got the cop explaining that my license is suspended and all of this stuff. And I still have to go to D.C. And I've got the kids in the car and they're texting their family and they're going, oh yeah, her license is suspended and we're in the car with her. And I'm like, oh no, you're making me sound like some big criminal. It was awful. I was so embarrassed. So we got to D.C. and we parked the car and I'm like, okay, I am not driving in D.C. We're doing cabs, but I am not driving this time. Gayle has a dark past, huh? Oh yeah, buddy. My last ticket, okay, Plum Bob says, my last ticket was for going 34 kmph in a 30 zone. And it says they won't do anything here either, Texas Service Dog Team. It says, wow, at Plum Bob. Yeah. Now, I heard that if you speed in Canada, there you have a risk that they'll impound your vehicle. Is that true? Because I was driving the van and we were sleeping in the van and I did not want to get that impounded. So I was like going the speed limit. I did exceed it a little bit more, like on the highways in the like areas where there was nothing. But Yukon was different. Now, I pretty much kind of, I don't want to say I made the speed limit up as I went along in Yukon, but I kind of did, because like in the areas where the animals were prone to be on the road, I certainly didn't want to like speed there, and I usually didn't go quite the speed limit, especially like at night, because I didn't want to hit anything. And I found out later that they tell you not to drive at night in Yukon. And I was like, oh, oops. So I'll have to plan for that on my next trip. And Tracy says, I lost my passport and reported it lost the same day. A few hours later, somebody found it and turned it in, but it was too late. Ooh, ow, $200 for a new one. And Plum says, it's not you, Gayle. You smile. Your smile should have gotten you off. Too fast, they take your car, but you have to exceed it quite a bit. Okay, that's good to know. That is good to know. Well, I try to watch it. But a couple of times I found myself, you know, I saw the speed limit sign and I was actually going faster because I have to stop and translate that, oh yeah, that's kilometers, not miles per hour. So once that clicked in, I'd slow down. But like a couple of times, and I do really mean like a couple of times, I found myself going much higher than the speed limit just because I was being stupid. If you're going in the summer, they have the Midnight Sun in Whitehorse. They sure do. Oh no, Tracy, I didn't know that Louisiana would take your car too. I am so glad you mentioned that because I had no idea. But yeah, the Midnight Sun kind of messed with me a little bit. I was happy, don't get me wrong, but I think it encourages you to drive more because like your mind is ready for the sky is supposed to look dark at a certain time, and that certain time kept getting pushed on down. And it was really kind of crazy when we drove up to the Arctic Circle because there was no dark at all, not even for just a little while, which was kind of cool, but kind of mind-bending also. And Texas says, there was something about it in the news many years ago. They could take your car for practically any infraction, and people couldn't get their cars back even when proven innocent. Wow. Yeah, that didn't make the news here. Now, North Carolina would take it for like, I think it was 24 hours. But you had to be just about like speeding backwards down the interstate with your tags out of date. I mean, not seriously, but pretty much that kind of level. Or driving drunk. Which, my personal opinion, if they would impound everybody's vehicle everywhere the first time they were caught driving drunk, then maybe there wouldn't be a second time. But I'm not going to get on that rant. Very true. So you agree with me. I'm glad. Sometimes people are like, because I'll state my opinion, and sometimes people are like, oh no, we should give him the benefit of the doubt the first time. And I'm like, no, there should not be any benefit of the doubt. First, second, or third, we all know better, even if we don't drink. And Tracy says, no way. Totally agree. I mean, it's ridiculous. But they're kind of lenient here. And it's really frustrating. How are they in Texas with that? And in Edmonton? Would be a lesson to remember for people. Oh, I agree. I completely agree. And, sorry. They don't have to keep it forever, but I think, 24 hours in the impound for the first time. And Plum Bob says, I must turn in. It's been a long day. I hope y'all have a great break for Easter. I very much enjoyed your company this evening. And Gayle, I agree. Okay. You're on the spot here. Okay, good. And Texas says, I'm not sure. And you too, Plum Bob. Well, I'm falling asleep too. So, and Verdict Squad is here just as I announce I'm falling asleep. Hi, Verdict Squad. I have had fun in the live streams that you've been on. You make a good moderator too. Good night, all. Thank you, Tracy, and Plum Bob saying good night. Thank you guys for coming in, and thank you guys for hitting the like button. I really appreciate both. I'm so surprised that anybody is on. Thank you. We appreciate it, ma'am. Well, I appreciate it because as a watcher, I mean, having good moderators really helps. Because sometimes you got to take out the trash and boot people, and the person who's talking can't always do that. So you have a tough job, but it's admired and appreciated. And Tracy, who's here, or she might have gotten off, is a moderator here, and she does a fabulous job. Both of my moderators do. She and Amber are great. You guys have it tough. Not watcher, but rather supporter. We agree. I had to do that earlier today, but it was taken care of. Yeah. And there's no point being jerks. But I will say that 20 years ago when I was online, it was a whole lot easier to take that trash out. Ah! There's Tracy. No, that one day I missed a bunch while cleaning out my closet. No, I mean, that day, oh my gosh, nobody could keep up. I don't know what it was either, but we haven't drawn that many. That was really the first time since doing live streams that we've picked up a troll, or I don't know if it's one or two or what, But I don't understand how they can create a new identity on YouTube as fast as he was doing or she was doing. I suspect a he just because of what was being said, but who knows? It was bad, so strange. Yeah, it really is. I didn't think about that, Verdict Squad. It could have been trigger words. I know. Toxic topics, readers. Yeah, that makes sense. I used to run, like 20 years ago, I used to run a forum for victims of abuse. And that got crazy, totally crazy on Friday and Saturday nights. And I had like 5 moderators I had more than that, but it was not uncommon to have at least 5 on a chat room. And we would just be kicking them out left and right. But one of the things that was easier during that time was if somebody continually came in and was a jerk, I could keep a copy of the chat log and I could contact their internet provider of whatever their email address was or whatever I could find out through their IP. And the internet provider, I would just email them a copy of the chat log and they would close those email accounts really quick. And now you can't hardly do anything. Crazy. That would be great to be able to do. Yes, it would. Yes, yes, yes. And it was, now once in a while, like it would be kids. And so once in a while, after we would get somebody's email account shut down, I would have a parent contact me saying like, how dare you did this and stuff like that. And I would just send them a copy of the chat log. And they would there was a way on one of the forums that I could strip because I own the chat room. So I could strip their member names away and I could show just email addresses. And that was on like my end, like my moderators couldn't even do that. I could not even assign it to somebody. So I would do the printout where I would strip down to their email addresses and I would send that in. That's what I would send to the internet providers, and I would share that with parents, and it just, end of the issue, even with parents. But I got some really mad folks. And let's see. Verdict Squad says it could also be due to the proliferation of internet access availability and for people with websites, phones, and tablets, etc. And bet the parents were in for a shock. Yeah, some of them were, I gotta tell you, and I felt really bad, but it wasn't my kid that was causing the problems, but I can just imagine how I would have responded. And yeah, and I hated to do that. But see, that was a tool that we had then that we just don't have now. It would be nice. So, oh, Montagazi the Browns is in. Oh my gosh. I love your channel. You are like and have been for like a year. This is like having my hero come into the chat room. I'm like, oh my gosh. I am so excited. Thank you for coming in. Verdict Squad saying hi and thanks. And Tracy. If it was my kids, I would want you to tell me. Yeah, I feel that way, but some parents don't feel that way. But the chat log was really, you can't argue with that. So, you are great. We love you, said Motogazi. Oh, thank you. I'm so excited. I can't believe you're in here. It's like, yay. And Verdict Squad and Tracy, this is like my hero in here. They have the neatest channel. They have the homeschooling, travel, anything you want to know, like ever about an RV, travel, making a living on the road, you name it. But one of the best things about the family is just the sheer joy, the absolute fun that they have together. I love that. Very cool. I'll have to subscribe. Yeah, absolutely. They're awesome. I love watching you guys. Then you'll be glad you did. So I am so excited. I'm still shocked that I have anybody in the chat room this late. I mean, on the live stream this late at night, because I've never done one this late before. We try to share our happiness. You do, and you do a phenomenal job. And Verdict Squad says, we have to get going, but it was nice talking to you, Gayle. Have a good night now. Verdict Squad, you too. It has been great meeting you. I appreciate you coming in. I do not have school tomorrow, so I'll be doing some work. So yeah, this is a pretty big weekend for me. And I've got like papers galore. I've got a project, a paper, I've got an exam, I've got 2 essays, and I'm just taking 3 classes semester, and this has been the hardest semester so far. It's kicking my butt. But I'm there to learn. But yeah, I appreciate you a lot for coming in, Verdict. And I appreciate your like. I just appreciate y'all being here. So I guess midnight must be a good time to live stream. Who would have thought? But I will say it feels a little strange not to have a topic, but I didn't prepare anything because I didn't expect to be on this late. And when I did decide to do it, like I said, I was afraid I'd be talking to air. Well, you're very down to earth and easy to like, Gayle. Tracy, thank you. I really appreciate that. Because you're always so positive. And we need more positive energy in the world. And that's why I like doing travel videos myself. Because I feel like I'm adding a little bit to the positive energy and giving something back and kind of countering the negative stuff in the world, because there's enough negative. We don't need any more negative. But it does feel weird not having a topic, so. You are so right, yeah. Well, being that it's 1 o'clock in the morning here, I think I am going to hop off. But let me say thank you to you guys for being here. And I hope you all get some rest. Okay, have a great evening. You too, or should I say have a great morning. You too. So y'all, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all out about and online. So thanks for hanging out. Thank you for coming in. It was like, I'm so excited. If this was in person, I would be saying, hey, can I have your autograph? The whole Brown family. Bye, y'all. Bye, Tracy. Thank you all for coming in. Y'all have a good night.